So after years and years, I finally decided to shut down my Patreon page. I'll explain in a minute why. But first, I just want to say a big thank you to all the fans and friends who hung out there for many, many years since the beginning. Even when I stopped posting regularly there, some have been patrons since the very beginning. There was even a time where I stopped the Patreon and told people to leave, and they just still stayed to support my art, and that just really means a lot to me. But it also made me feel really guilty when I would see the monthly payments come in, and then I would think, damn, I'm not doing enough on my Patreon. And that could start to feel kind of like a lot of pressure on you as an artist. So the thing about my Patreon was that it was basically focused around whatever comics I was doing at the time, and that could change from project to project. So maybe it was the Pop Culture Your Mama strip. I did Godchild on there for a while, switched to Secret Forces, and for a hot minute there, we were even doing a group project called 7x7 with some local Pittsburgh artists. And I always kept comics on there because I got a really good Patreon username, Comics. I was one of the first Patreon people to reserve an account, so I was like, get that Comics name. So I just kind of always wanted comics to be on there. But it seemed like every time it would just kind of fade away, I would forget to post, and it would just perpetually make me feel like a failure as a creator. The opposite of what you're trying to do when you're building a Patreon to be supported. It just felt like I was letting everyone down. In my heart of hearts, deep down, it would just be amazing to have a daily comic strip and have that be your full-time income. But that's just not reality. I did do that for a long time, but the reality is it's not really enough to build to make ends meet. You got to be doing a lot of other stuff with your art to have that as a full-time career. And my own comics, as much as I love them, they just aren't that popular to support a full-time dream like that. So coming to that realization is kind of like, a bummer as well, but also just a little self-awareness that, you're not going to be the next giant thing sometimes. But that did make me do some really deep soul searching. I'm 46, I'll be 47 here soon. I just kind of thought how many times am I going to do this over and over again? As far as being an artist, what does it mean? What do I really get fulfillment out of it? Why am I even doing this over and over and over again? Like Einstein said, the definition of insanity is just doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So sometimes making comics can seem just a little insane to be doing. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop making comics. It just means that in late 2021, early 2022, my priorities just really shifted away from drawing the comics regularly. And after a lot of deep work behind the scenes, I launched the Draw or Die Club in March of 2022. And that's a personal brand that helps artists stay encouraged and drawing every day. And I launched that because I saw so many artists out there giving up. And I've even given up too in the past, but the difference between me and them was I got back up and just, kept falling down perpetually over and over again so many times. But every time I would get back up and try something new again, and it was usually launching a new comic or doing some other thing that was inspiring. And so people were reaching out to me a lot, asking how do you stay so inspired? What kind of things are you doing to keep yourself motivated and creating? And I was sharing those things privately, so I thought, why don't I just put that out for more artists to find? And so the Draw or Die idea just kind of really took off. I think we had over 1,700 artists pretty quickly on the list. I did a free Defeat the Funk program, a 3-day thing, which is still out there for free, to help artists get unstuck and drawing every day again. And since March, that's helped over 1,000 other artists get unstuck and start drawing every day. And I don't know, it might seem a little hokey to say, but it's as close as I've ever felt in my art life to finding a true purpose. It just feels very fulfilling for me to work on. So that's been my focus from now and into the near future, far future, is working on building the Draw or Die Club even stronger. I want to help even more artists out there, and in turn, it really helps me too. So far this year, we've done 41 weeks of the Draw or Die newsletter that comes out every Sunday. That's free. In the summertime, we started a subscription, $5 a month, to get daily drawing prompts so that artists can stay unstuck. You always know what to draw when it shows up at 5 a.m. in the morning. So then I was asked if I would do some sort of podcast, and I reluctantly held off for that for a while, but now for the past 2.5 months, I've been doing a Thursday night podcast here on YouTube that talks about all things pertaining to artists, AI art, your career, staying motivated. just having a fun conversation every week for artists and building up this channel. You know, I added the weekly warm-up exercise to kind of show behind the scenes the same exercises that I do to kind of keep myself moving before I work on my other projects into the night. And I have a full-time day job, so this is a lot of work for the evenings and the weekends, but it doesn't feel like work, it just feels really rewarding to me. I actually kind of look forward to 6 p.m. to midnight sometimes, working on building up this brand. Now, does this mean that I'm totally done telling stories and comics? Absolutely not. In fact, I've been working on something super different for me, which is very personal, and also just feels really good. So I may share that soon. I'm not sure if I'll just do it anonymously on some other channel that you have to just randomly find. But yeah, I've been deep at work on a new project on the side for that. Think like adult children's books, but with true stories. And you know, maybe we'll just build a little army of really highly inspired artists to unleash a whole bunch of new comics and stories onto the world. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's my secret agenda. So I just want to say thanks again to all the old patrons, the comic friends and fans, the old readers. I really appreciate you so much. You have no idea how much it's meant to me that you read my work and like my work, even though, you know, we're not uber famous or anything like that. Just that you enjoy it, and that you let me know has been amazing. And you let me know with your dollars for all these years too, and that's incredible. So I consider you true fans, and I really appreciate you, and I will try my best to let you know what I'm up to next. And if you're an artist out there, join the Draw or Die Club. We're all in this together. I hope you stay encouraged out there, and I'll see you back here real soon. My cat slept through all of that.